Tyreek Hill, also known as the Cheetah, is one of the most explosive players the NFL has ever seen. He's so fast that even professional sprinters would envy his speed. The Cheetah turns routine plays into breathtaking touchdowns, leaving entire defenses questioning the laws of physics. His speed, vision, and impact make him feel untouchable. Yet, despite all this, he remains absent from the GOAT conversation. So, in this video, we are going to discuss why the hell Tyreek Hill is not considered the GOAT, and obviously, what it really takes for a sportsman to earn that legendary title. Tyreek Hill is one of the most explosive players the NFL has ever seen. Not just fast, Olympic-level acceleration, instant separation, and the rare ability to shift into another gear even while running full speed.
Tyreek Hill in motion, he's got the football.
Juke inside, cuts outside, and the Cheetah.
Every defender knows what's coming. No defender can stop it. His numbers back it up. Multiple 1,000-yard seasons. Multiple All-Pro selections. Over 1,700 yards in a single year. He's not just productive, he's redefining what elite wide receiver even means. His impact goes way beyond the stat sheet. Entire defensive schemes shift just because he's on the field. Safeties line up 10 yards deeper, linebackers hesitate, corners panic, and flip their hips early. One player changing the geometry of the field. That's generational talent.
Overall player in the league, I would say Tyreek Hill.
And it's not just speed. Hill's route running is razor sharp, his tracking ability is absurd, and his yards after catch threat makes him a constant home run risk. Whether it's Mahomes or Tua throwing him the ball, Hill consistently proves that quarterbacks benefit from him, not the other way around. Few players in history actively warp the game like this. Tyreek isn't just great, he's the type of player defensive coordinators lose sleep over.
Where you going? Number 10, right? So dynamic.
When you watch Tyreek Hill play, it's easy to understand why so many fans swear he's the GOAT. He has the rare, every touch could be a touchdown energy. Every highlight looks like a glitch. Defenders frozen, angles evaporating, and Hill blurring past bodies like they're standing still.
Lofted to the sideline, dropped it right in the bucket for Tyreek Hill.
What makes him feel different from other legends isn't just production, it's the effect. The spark, the electricity. There's no one else in football who creates that collective gasp from crowds every time the ball heads his way. He doesn't just run routes, he attacks open space like a missile. Modern offenses are literally evolving around players like him. Motion-heavy systems, speed spacing, vertical stress. Hill is at the center of the NFL's shift toward explosiveness. He's not following trends, he's setting them. Countless young receivers are trying to copy his style, his acceleration, his inside-out releases. When the moment needs energy, Hill delivers it. When the game needs a spark, he becomes it. That's why to so many fans, Tyreek Hill just feels like the most unstoppable wide receiver to ever touch a field.
That's the fastest top speed we've ever recorded.
How many people we threw your way?
No chance.
People can't catch you.
No chance.
So why, despite all this dominance, isn't Tyreek Hill widely labeled the GOAT? Because the GOAT conversation in football isn't just about highlights or talent, it's about legacy metrics. And these are the categories where the debate becomes complicated. First, longevity at peak. The greatest receivers, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Larry Fitzgerald, maintained elite production for extremely long stretches. Tyreek has been dominant, but the GOAT standard demands absurd consistency across well over a decade. Hill is still building that resume, not finishing it. Second, championship pedigree. Rings aren't everything, but they always influence legacy. Players like Rice set impossible standards with postseason dominance. Hill does have a Super Bowl, but he hasn't built the multi-ring legacy that typically defines GOAT-level careers. Third, all-time stats. Hill's per-season numbers are insane, but his career totals aren't yet in the historic mountain category. To be GOAT, you typically need to own all-time leaderboards, touchdowns, yards, receptions. Tyreek's pace is elite, but he needs several more monster seasons to mathematically enter that tier. Fourth, positional versatility and era comparisons. Some critics argue Hill benefits from a wide-open passing era, motion-focused systems, and rule changes that protect receivers. Fair or not, this often weakens his GOAT case in debates. So while Hill might be the most dangerous, electrifying, and unguardable receiver of his generation,
like, this guy's the fastest in the league. You got somebody press man on him, no safety help.
the GOAT title demands a combination of production, rings, longevity, and all-time dominance that he's still chasing. In fact, what makes Tyreek Hill so fascinating is how his presence alone transforms an offense before the ball is even snapped. Defensive coordinators spend entire weeks trying to scheme around him, only to watch him torch their best plans in real time. Motion, leverage, spacing. Hill manipulates all of it. His pre-snap movement forces defenders to reveal coverages. His speed erases pursuit angles, and his threat deep downfield opens massive windows for everyone else. Even without touching the ball, Hill dictates the rhythm of a game. When fans argue GOAT wide receivers, the conversation usually starts with Jerry Rice. 3 rings, every major record, unmatched longevity. Rice didn't just dominate, he dominated for decades. Then you've got Randy Moss, the pure alien of the position. Moss changed defensive schemes just by jogging onto the field. His blend of height, speed, and jump ball mastery created an entire generation of receivers trying to be him. So where does Tyreek fit? On pure talent, he might sit at the very top. Nobody in football history has replicated his speed threat formula. Elite acceleration, instant separation, terrifying open field movement, and legitimate route running. He forces defenses into panic mode adjustments that no other receiver has ever consistently demanded. But the legacy argument doesn't care solely about talent. It asks, how long did you dominate? How many eras did you survive? How did your presence translate into titles? Rice has resume. Moss has mythology. Tyreek has the most dangerous skill set the league has ever seen. But the GOAT title has always been a balance between what you can do and what you've actually done over time. And that's where the debate gets real. Tyreek's path to rewriting the GOAT discussion is actually clear. First, he needs longevity. Not 20 years like Rice, but enough elite seasons into his 30s to prove he isn't just a speed-dependent phenomenon. Second, he needs rings. Fair or not, GOAT status at receiver gets heavily tied to championships, especially when your production directly impacts winning. Next, he needs career-defining statistical milestones. If he hits 15,000 plus receiving yards or approaches all-time touchdown marks, he forces the historians to pay attention. And finally, he must keep doing what only he can do, breaking games open in ways no other receiver could. If the highlight library keeps stacking, the argument becomes undeniable. If Tyreek adds even one historic postseason run or a late career peak, the GOAT debate isn't just open, it tilts. Tyreek Hill is the rare player who bends the sport around his talent. He's not the traditional mold. He's not the resume king. He's the future challenging the past. Whether he becomes the GOAT depends on what happens next. But one thing's certain, no receiver has ever terrified defenses like the Cheetah. And that alone makes this conversation impossible to ignore.